everyone, today I'm doing my Book and Time wrap up. In case you don't know, Book and Time was a readathon that my friend Michelle and I, of Lovely Girl Reads, hosted the week of Valentine's, so February 14th to the 21st, and the goal was to read as many contemporary novels as possible. There were 5 challenges, but they were all optional. Like I said, I'm doing my wrap up for that today. I managed to read 6 books, 3 of which weren't actually on my original TBR, which I made a video about, so I'll link that below if you want to see my thoughts before I read these books. Anyway, I will start with the 2 that were on my TBR that I didn't get to. The first one was 3 Wishes by Isabel Merlin. I started this one and I read a couple of pages and I just didn't like it. I think it's probably a little bit too young for me now, and this was the book that was on my TBR the longest, and I've had it for ages, so yeah. I am going to be getting rid of this. The other one I had was The Convent by Maureen McCarthy, and this was my book set in your home country. Yeah, I read the first page of this and I just wasn't feeling it at the time. As you can tell, it's quite a big book. It's a little bit historical, and I wanted something light at the time, and this just wasn't it. So I am keeping this one. It'll be going back in my shelf because I do want to read it, but I just didn't want to read it that week. Okay, so onto the books that I did actually read. The first one, I read 2 books in the first day, and the first one was Catching Jordan by Miranda Kennelly. I had 2 library books and this was one of them. I enjoyed this. I think I gave it 3.5. It was fun, it was cute, but it was quite predictable, and it is also about American football, and as an Australian, I didn't understand anything, to be honest. So yeah, I did try this, and I did like it. It's very cute, but not a favourite. I do want to read the rest. There's like a companion novels. I do want to read those because they're not all about football. But since this is the first one, I thought I would read this one so I could read the others. The next one I read that day was 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. This was 3.5 for me as well, I think. Again, this was alright, but I didn't like any of the characters in this. The main girl, Hannah, this isn't a spoiler because it's on the back, she committed suicide, and it's like her tapes. She was a bitch, like, she really was, and I just couldn't connect to any of the characters. I liked the message, but I just didn't like how it was told. So yeah. The next one I have that I read was The Miseducation of Cameron Post by Emily M. Danforth. I didn't like this one at the start. I think it was maybe 200 pages in, and I was complaining to Michelle that it was so slow, and it starts off when Cameron Post is only like 11 or 12, and that was just weird to read, you know. I suppose like Michelle said, Harry Potter and Percy Jackson start off at that age, but I feel like there's very different stories, and this one was just, yeah, I just couldn't connect to her at all at the start. But by the time she gets to the camp, which again isn't a spoiler because it's on the back, by that time I really liked this, and I ended up giving this 4 stars, I think. It was really, really good by the end, and yeah, I do have a full-length review of this going up on the blog sometime this week. So yeah, I will link that below. It'll probably be up by the time this video goes up. So I'll link that below. The next one I have is Paper Towns by John Green, and I hadn't read this one previously. I'd read the first 60 or so pages like a year ago. Not even that. I think when I marked it as read on Goodreads, I'm pretty sure I'd started it in like 2011. So it's been a while. I did end up quite enjoying this. I think this was a 3.5 for me again. Yeah, again, I just didn't really like the characters, and it was a lot different to what I was expecting, but I am really excited for the movie still. I think Cara, I don't know how you say her last name, I think she's going to be really good as Margot, so I'm interested to see how they do the movie. The fifth book I read was also my favourite one, and if you follow me on Twitter or Goodreads or my blog, or yeah, I think that's everything, you'll know this. It was Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. I really wasn't sure that I would like this. This was the first new adult that I'd ever read, and I loved it. Like, I really didn't think that I would, but oh my god, this was so good. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I have written a review of it. It's like an 800-word review, and I'll just go on for hours if I start, so it was good, and I can't wait to read more Colleen Hoover. And then the last book that I read for Book in Time was The Last Little Blue Envelope by Maureen Johnson. This is This was the sequel to 13 Little Blue Envelopes. I read the first one maybe 2 years ago, and I've had this one on my shelf ever since, and I just didn't get to it until now. And I did really, really enjoy this. I didn't like it as much as the first one, but it was still good. And I mean, everything kind of paled in comparison to Maybe Someday. So yeah. I did also start An Abundance of Catherines, which is back here, and I can't be able to pull it out because I've got a 90210 DVD there. I think I read 50 pages of that and I really didn't like it. And I'm not sure. I know it's John Green, and I know we're all supposed to love John Green, but I don't know if I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep Paper Towns. I've already read Looking for Alaska, and I love that, and I've read Typhoeus, and I own 2 copies of that. That's how much I love it. But I just don't know if An Abundance of Catherines is for me. So if you've read it, let me know what you thought, and whether you think I should keep it, or whether it's just not worth it. It's very mathematical at the moment, and I'm not good at maths at all. Anyway, that was my Book in Time wrap up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much if you participated. Everyone was so amazing, and everyone did really well, and I loved going through like the Twitter hashtag and seeing what you guys were reading, and seeing what you guys were talking about on Goodreads and everything. So thank you so much for participating and for supporting Michelle and I through this. We do actually have a little surprise for you guys. We're actually going to be running a giveaway for people that participated. So if you didn't participate, you obviously can't enter because that's not fair. But if you did, then you can enter and you can win a contemporary book of your choice. Or there's a couple, there'll be like 10 of you that you can choose from. But anyway, there'll be more on that on Twitter in the coming days. I will see you all in 2 days' time. I will be doing my March TBR. Thank you